But there's one group which is extremely vulnerable when the winter weather hits us, and that's our senior citizens living with dementia.
And there can certainly be hidden dangers when you think about this vulnerable population. We want to bring in now Nancy Treaster. She's a co-founder of the nonprofit, The Caregiver's Journey. Nancy, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with us. Talk to us about why this population is at risk of so much dangers, especially when we talk about these winter storm conditions.
Well, a couple of different scenarios. First, a lot of people with early stage dementia or simply mild cognitive impairment are still living by themselves successfully at home. And as long as they're in their normal everyday routine, that's fine. But when a stressful situation comes in or they have to deal with something like the power's out and have to go through with some problem solving, it falls apart. And so if you've got someone who's living with dementia and is successfully living at home by themselves, now would be the time to really put them with a friend or family member so that they're not having to problem solve if the power goes out, and figure out how to handle that, because those stressful situations are not very easy to deal with.
Yeah, Nancy, you know, this really hits home. I'm sorry, but this really hits home for
No, go
me.
ahead.
Both of my mom and dad, they were suffering from dementia. We became caregivers. We were part of the sandwich generation, having kids, taking care of mom and dad at the same time. What advice would you give to caregivers for those who have parents or loved ones living with dementia? Because sometimes, you know, you may not be paying attention. They will slip out the door and they will go out there into the elements. What would you suggest to them?
They will. And curiosity is normal, but particularly for someone living with dementia, they're not thinking about putting on a warm coat and what needs to happen for them to even go outside. And so you do need to keep an extra special eye on your loved one. If they've wandered before, then definitely. I mean, take the keys away, lock the doors, keep an eye on them. Keep the coat next to the door. If they do wander out, maybe they at least have a chance of putting the coat on. But this is definitely the time you don't want them outdoors wandering without any protective clothing on. Also, register them with the police and make sure they have a picture of your loved one so that if they do wander out, everyone can quickly find them.
All right, so if the unfortunate happens and that does take place, what should people do right away? Is it a immediate call to 911? What steps should people take if something like that should happen?
It's a very good question. Most people want to go look for their loved one right away. We suggest you call 911 right away and get that part of the process started. Then go look for your loved one and keep your cell phone close to you when you are.
Yeah, you know, okay, so another personal situation, my dad ended up slipping out of the door. It was during the summer in Northern California. It wasn't too bad. Immediately, we had to call 911 to try to find him, and then my son and me and my wife, we had to go out to look for him as well. And he says he was confused when he walked out the door. I think that is so important that you make sure that you contact, you call 911, you contact law enforcement, get the professionals involved to make sure they can help find your loved one. I mean, what do you think about that?
Absolutely, and that is not our natural reaction. We want to go out and just do it ourselves and think we can find them quickly, and you miss precious time if you don't get them moving while you're out looking for your loved one. Doesn't mean you won't look for your loved one, but you're going to do that after you kick 911 off and get things started. So you're exactly right.
Yeah, and this is certainly an issue that deserves talking about, and that some people don't realize or don't think about themselves unless they are in it or unless they've experienced. So, Nancy, thank you so much for spending some time with us ahead of the storm to maybe share some advice that people can actually use and start to consider for their families.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nancy. We appreciate it.